welcome back to day 2 of working on this table. It's currently in my storage container. Today, it's a beautiful day, and what I'm going to do is, it's been sitting, we painted it 2 days ago. Now it needs to be quickly distressed and clear coated. Probably will get 2 layers of clear coat, definitely on the top. Like I said, this is for my booth, so what I do for the booth quickly for display may be a little bit different than what I would do if I was selling it for home use, but not much different actually. So maybe I'd put 3 coats of clear coat on the top to make it a bit durable, but otherwise that's what we're going to do today. What I really want to do, because I don't know, I think I showed you last time, it does have the it does have the brass scroll at the bottom. Let me move this. Luckily it's nice and light. Hopefully you could see that. So it has the, if I move out of the way maybe, the brass scroll on the bottom. I didn't paint that. This table doesn't need much. It's going to be really covered with my stuff in the booth. So, but I did grab, I probably will put a transfer on it. This one is a gilded transfer. The only thing with the transfer is the top, wherever you put it, really needs to be dry. So I may not be able to do that till this afternoon. And I probably won't film that, unfortunately. Sorry about that. But otherwise, because I want to get this, I think, in the booth by Sunday. I may stop by the booth, get this set into the booth, and the pew that I'm removing from the booth, I could pull it on a Sunday, have my husband help me, and then on Monday we'll go in and zhuzh things up. This week I'm not adding in as many items into the booth as I have been, but only because I kind of want to switch things. Why do I keep bending down? Only because I want to switch things around. And then I plan to set it up for Easter, and I have a lot of Easter stuff, a lot. So that's my plan. So this part of the video should be really quick. I'm just going to distress it. Some people, I just take little pads of sandpaper and go over. You can go crazy with distressing. Don't go crazy. You just need to, you think about distressing, and you want to distress it where there would be normal wear and tear. And that tends to be the edges. The last thing you want to do is create what I would say is like the zebra look, or, you know, the patchwork look, or leopard look. You know, the look where it just doesn't look right, where someone, you could tell that they've purposely distressed it in all the wrong places. So I tend to stick with the edges, maybe a few random other places, but like I said, just think of where you would normally have wear and tear over 100 years. So I'm going to get started with that first. That's the first thing we need to do. Let me set this aside. We're going to get to it. Let's get to it. Okay, so just going to go over it till I remove. I'm going to pull the camera, and then I'm just going to do this quickly. I'll show you kind of what I'm doing, and then I'll put you guys back. Let me switch this around. Otherwise, I can't see it. I'm such a dork sometimes, I swear. Okay. Sorry, my back camera's dirty. Please hold. Okay, so here's your regular edge, right? I've already run it over really quick with that, and see whatever kind of sticks out is what you would naturally kind of, like your hands would hit here, things would bang up against it. That's what you would distress. See, So, and because I used a clay, this one is mud paint, it distresses really easily. If I had used like an indoor enamel, or something with a built-in finish already in it, not going to distress just as easily as that. So that's what I'm kind of going to do, is just go around these edges and distress it really quick, but I can't do it a whole. So again, today, nice and sunny, looking awesome. Minus our crazy camp, our tractor, our other storage container, and some other items. Okay, well, let me put you guys back. We will get started. Like I said, this part of it's going to be fairly boring and quick, but I wanted to show you guys start to finish. So in distressing, when you use the right like clay or whatever, this only has 2 layers on it. It's going to go really quick. This part, a lot of people end up being cautious about. They get worried. I know when my sister was working with me for a bit, she'd be a lot more cautious on the distressing, and I would just go crazy. So I don't have time to be sitting here all day ripping paint off. And just like that, this top, these edges, they're almost done. And if I had it with me, I could use a blower. I don't know where any of my stuff is, quite honestly. But instead, because now we've got all this sanding dust on there, we don't want to keep that. So I just grabbed a chip brush, and what I'll do is go ahead and brush that off. We don't want that in our clear coat. Get that off the top, but I gotta get this bottom really quick anyways. All right, down to the ground I go. Which is nice, and I see a whole different perspective of maybe what I should have done at the top here on the sides. This is a pretty heavy duty grit because I like to just get her done. I have pretty bad arthritis, so the harder I have to press, the more it hurts, the more frustrating it can be. So I do use a higher grit, a more gritty grit. The lower the number, the more powerful it is. So if you don't trust yourself, you want to go with a higher number, maybe like a 220 or something like this. This, honestly, maybe 80 grit. That's how hardcore I am. Day today, so I am going to be spray painting. I hate to say spray painting because it isn't like trying to, when people get the your regular spray paint and do it, it is a chalk spray paint that I can also distress and make it look the way I want it to look. It's not a high gloss or anything like that. There is a difference. Okay, but so I'll be doing some of that. I think with the pieces I showed you earlier in the video, I think I did. It's been 2 days. I already forgot what I showed you guys. But some of those metal pieces. Like I said, I don't normally do too much spray painting unless it's metal, unless it's super intricate. And sometimes you could tell that just spraying it would be better and quicker and smarter. And sometimes, a lot of times I end up spraying it just kind of to get a base coat, and then I'll lightly go over with chalk paint inside. It all just depends on what I'm going for. Okay, so that side's already done. I gotta get this end. If you're gonna do all these corner piece, the edges and stuff, you want to make sure you get them all. You don't want to miss it. You want to get the inside, the outside, the underside, all the sides that are going to be shown. You want to get that. That's how light this table is, showing you my brute strength. Showing you my superpowers. It's a light table, so. All right. Last little bit, actually. That went quickly. The more layers of paint you do, of course, the harder it is to get off. Definitely, if it had a finish on it, clear coat finish on it, it'd be near impossible. There are times that I spend forever trying to get paint off to distress it, because I tend to overpaint. I want to put enough paint on it that it doesn't look like I just lightly painted it. Some people do that, especially with white. White actually needs at least 3 coats, at least. Sometimes 4, sometimes 5. And so when you go in and you only put 2 coats, you can see brush strokes, you can see all of that. So that's why, for this purpose, I just wanted to do this color, so I didn't have to do a whole bunch of coats of white. All right, just getting this dust off. I am not working in a clean environment. Luckily, for what I'm doing, it's okay. If you're trying to get a factory finish, this isn't the place to be doing it. Tip it the other way and make sure we got plenty off. No dust left and all the cracks. See, if you had a blower and you just blow it all off, and it would be quick and easy. I should have brought a drink down. What was I thinking this morning? Now for some reason I got a runny nose, so sorry about the sniffles. If y'all know about me, like I'm allergic to the world essentially. So my nose is always running, always sniffling, but some days worse than others. Okay, so that is it. So now we're gonna clear coat. I'll show you what I do use for a clear coat, and then I'll tell you what sucks. What sucks right now is normally I use a sponge, and I can't find my sponges. So you know those big, the ones you can get at like the auto store, where maybe you'd use them to wax your car, wash your car, whatever. They're big, thick yellow ones. I cut those up and I use those to put my clear coat on. And it is super easy. I don't brush my clear coat on unless it's like a small inside little tchotchke house decor thing that I'm doing. All my big pieces, I use a sponge, and that helps prevent brush strokes in your final finish. But I don't know where it is. I looked before I went live. I didn't go live before I started recording and couldn't find it. So this is what I normally use for my clear coats. It is water based, so not overly stinky at all. I may be used to the smell. I would say there's no smell, but I don't know. And I normally use a mat. This one's a semi-gloss. They keep selling out of the mat. So what I normally do is have that sponge, get the sponge wet so it's not soaking up more clear coat than it needs to. And then I go from there. I don't have that option. So that kind of sucks. Okay, so what I'm going to do is do the top. And then I'm going to get the bottom, and then hopefully by the time I'm done with the bottom, I'll be able to at least put another coat on the top. And that's maybe all I need. Like I said, if I was going to just purposely do this piece of furniture to sell, I would do 2 coats all over the entire piece. I may not need another coat on the bottom because I'm not setting anything on it. It's just there for looks, and that kind of helps with the wear and tear and distressing over the time too. Whereas factory finish, where you're just looking for that smooth as butter finish, you definitely don't want any distressing over time or anything like that. So you want plenty of clear coats on it, but always on the top you want plenty, so you're not getting like water stains and all that kind of stuff. So I did bring a bowl. Normally I get these cans and I have this jar and I pour it in the jar so that I don't have to pour every time I go to use clear coat. I don't have to pour it into like a bowl or whatever like that. I can just take that and, you know, put the bottle onto the sponge and get what I need and put it all on there. I don't have that option either. Currently all I have is this one beat up paintbrush. I tell you people, I'm like dying. I am so ready to have a space to work. Okay, if we haven't talked about this in a very long time. This is my absolute favorite paintbrush. One, it's short, makes it easy. I'm so used to it now. If I have anything with a normal longer handle, it seems like a clown paintbrush and it gets in the way. I love the angle part of it, and the best part is this. So like I said, if you don't know me, I have serious arthritis and also fibromyalgia and a whole bunch of other stuff. So my hands get really tired really quick. And with a, like, let's say a hard handle, wood-based, plastic-based, whatever, that doesn't bend, wears my hand down. And then I'm like, within 5 minutes, I'm like done. So this one has give and works with my hand rather than against it. So this is a Wooster angled brush, and they sell it just at anywhere. I get them on Amazon kind of in bulk, but you can they should have them at the local hardware also. Okay, so normally I don't like to pour into the bowl only because of waste. I hate wasting, but I also don't want to cross-contaminate too much. So hopefully I don't put too much and we don't have to waste too much. Okay. With clear coat, it goes fairly fast. You kind of have to work fast. Otherwise, it's going to dry fast and you're going to leave brush strokes. You don't want to overwork your clear coat either. See, I don't have enough on here. I'm so used to the sponge. Otherwise, you'll realize it starts to get gummy really fast. So, okay, obviously, I'm already out. What kind of crockery is this? So I'm just trying to make sure I haven't left any, any brush strokes as best as I can. Other thing you don't want is drip. So I'm going around these edges, making sure it's not dripping, because that will puddle and not look pretty in the end. Great, just great. Now I need more. I feel like I'm just gonna dip it in here. I don't care. You shouldn't, but I don't care. People talk about cross contamination all the time, and that's kind of just getting like dust and dirt and maybe even changing the color of your clear coat. But that's basically a don't do what I do. I've told you the right way to do it now. Do it how you want at your own risk. Where did this hair come from? I swear, whenever you're doing clear coat, stuff comes out of the sky. And you're like, where did you come from? I mean, this looks like the little dog hair. Like he's not even around here. So I use water-based. Why do I use water-based? I tend to do a lot of light colors, and an oil-based can easily yellow over time, and it will yellow your paint, and it will be awful. So always water-based for me. That's my preference, at least. With a slight breeze, this will dry pretty quick. Thank goodness. Clear coat dries fairly quick. I mean, it takes a while to cure. So let me say that. Curing and dry are two different things. So like this may get dry to the touch, but the last thing I want to do right now is set a wet anything on it. The last thing I want to do is set anything on it. How about that? Okay, so I've already gotten that. We're gonna let that dry. Like I said, we don't want to overwork it and overthink it. I'm gonna go around, just check my edges, because it has so many grooves here. The last thing I want is that clear coat sitting in it. And I swear, I will go over it and then I'll come back later and I'll be like, hi, puddle, where did you come from? So, bound to happen. Okay. Good enough. As my father-in-law used to say, good enough for who it's for. Which is me at the moment, so good enough. All right. It is really dirty down here, quite honestly. All right, I'm gonna first get the bottom, and I definitely want to lift this up because I don't want it, there's dirt on the ground and I don't want to stick my brush on that. So I'm gonna do it blind on this one side. have it. When you're putting the clear coat on, you kind of can, if you pay attention, especially with darker colors, you could see a change, and you could see where you've hit and where you haven't, because the clear coat will darken it for the moment and look wet. A little bit harder with the lighter colors, but you can still tell a difference. Oh, I'm missing my sponge. Missing it. It is kind of hard to paint in here because it's darker. Having to look closer to see what I've covered and what I haven't. I think I've got that. Okay. Move it along. Sorry, I keep wiping my nose. Not the best look, but a runny nose is also not the best look, so you're welcome. Reality. Good. Okay, now I've got a leg cramp. Ow. Ow. I'm not young anymore, people. Ugh. And it shows every time I get on the ground, but let's be honest, at least I can still get on the ground, I guess. Make sure I didn't miss anything as I move along. And I don't have any spills or drips or anything. Alright, so I'm not sure. I'm either going to speed up this process and you won't hear me talk, or I will do a two-part video and you can hear me chatter. I'm not sure what you prefer, so we'll see. I will be honest, I was trying to edit the first part of the video and I was really struggling with the speed up part, so maybe it will just have to be two parts until I can figure that out. Because I couldn't get it to speed up just what I wanted it to speed up. It was speeding up everything. I am still trying to figure out editing. I had wanted to hire some people, but that just really hasn't worked out in my favor. And so I said, hey, you know, the only person I can depend on is Messa. So that's where we're at with that. So if I want to get it done, I knew that I would have to take that on, at least for now. I mean, I prefer not, but it is what it is. So, because editing's not my forte, but hey, you know what? Now I get to learn how to do it. So eventually my videos will be entertaining. I will figure out how to film so that it's entertaining and less editing. For now, I'm just trying to get videos out there, and so they're not the greatest, but eventually they will be. So you're welcome. You know, you don't learn and you don't know until you start, and that's what I felt, that I would just finally decided, let me just jump right into it and I'll figure it out as I go. So you guys from the beginning will learn with me, grow with me. You're my guinea pigs. You're welcome. Okay, so that part is done. It already feels so nice. Like I said, the clear coat really does dry fairly quickly. I may see, well, no, I won't have time. I may have to just have lunch and then come back and we could video me putting the transfer on it, gold transfer. The gold transfer, we'll go over transfers if you've never seen them, but the gold ones are kind of tough, so they don't go on as smoothly and naturally as the other ones do. You got to be a bit more careful. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I will eventually show you this afternoon. All right, at this point, I don't know what I've hit and what I haven't hit, so I haven't done this side very good. So we will let it be for now. I'm trying to, let me tilt it and see if I can see in the light. Sometimes you could like just shimmer it, just move it and you could see where the light hits and what maybe you didn't get and what you did get, so. Okay, seems pretty good. I am going to now stand up, and which is a feat unto itself, and see if I see any puddles or anything like that. Did I get all that? Did I get all that? I think I did. Okay. Woo! Already nice. Parts that I've missed, so sometimes it's hard, especially with these legs, and you know each side looks the same and you're like, did I already get that part? Did I already get that part? But that is exactly why I like doing the whole country farmhouse antique look, so that I don't have to be perfect, and not being perfect is part of the charm. Okay, I am going to do the sides now, again. Okay, and then I'm going to go over the top one more time. Doesn't require as much. When you use, on the second coat, when you use a chalk paint or clay paint or any of those kind of natural mineral based paints, they're much more porous. So especially on the first coat, it's really going to soak up what you put on top there. But now I'm essentially clear coating the clear coat, so, and maybe getting little areas that didn't get covered, but requires less product. That is that, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and let that dry. I will pause, but you guys will not realize such a pause because I'll be right back. And then we will get this finished up. It'll be dry enough that we can end up putting the transfer on. So there you have it. Okay, we'll see you in a moment, guys. Somehow it stopped recording. I did that the other day too. I don't know why. Okay. Just working on this. I don't know where it stopped, but still doing this. Some transfers are nice. They're just one big transfer, kind of come out on one sheet. These are all individual pieces, and this is actually a little bit of insanity. That's a Gaffar. I think a lot of this is French.